Last night, I caught my fiancée trash-talking me during a live stream with her friends. It was supposed to be just another girl's night. She didn't realize I was watching. I saw her laugh and say, "He's so clueless." I jumped into the live chat and typed, "Am I?" Then, right there in the comments, I called off the engagement. She freaked out the moment she realized what had happened, scrambling to shut down the live stream. I'm 31, by the way. Still trying to process it all, but weirdly, I'm calm. Last night was supposed to be Lily's girls' night. She's 28. We're supposed to get married in 5 months. I was just home, bored, flipping through social media when I noticed her friend Tessa had gone live. I've always thought Tessa was a bit too much, honestly. The stream was titled, "Spilling Tea, Pre-Wedding Shenanigans." Of course, curiosity got the better of me, and I tapped to watch. There she was, Lily, right in the center of the screen, wine glass in hand, laughing with Tessa and 2 other friends, Nina and Jade. At first, it was the usual wedding stress talk, deposits, dress fittings, that sort of thing. Then Tessa nudged her and said, "Come on, how's Mr. Perfect handling everything? Is he still doing that cute, sarcastic spreadsheet thing?" Lily laughed. "Oh my God, Ethan. He's clueless," she said. "He thinks this wedding is just ticking boxes, budgets, timelines. He has no idea what really matters." Nina joined in, saying, "Like how you're going to retrain him on home decor after the wedding? Get rid of that boring bachelor pad beige?" They all burst out laughing. It went downhill fast after that. Lily, starting to slur a bit, said, "Honestly, I think he's more in love with his job and his savings than with me. But it's fine. He's manageable. And he makes good money, enough for the dream house, dream vacations. I just have to mold him a little." Then someone added, "He's totally whipped. You've got him wrapped around your finger." Lily just smirked and said, "Pretty much. He's predictable. So safe. He'd never guess a thing. Thinks I'm just this sweet little angel." She even made a fake innocent face that made my stomach turn. Then she said it again, "He's so clueless." And they all howled. That's when the mood shifted for me. This wasn't harmless girl talk anymore, it was cold. Calculated. My chest tightened. But I wasn't angry, not really. It was like a light flicked on in my head, clear and sharp. So I typed, under my real account name, "Am I?" The chat was moving fast, but Tessa spotted it. Her eyes went wide. "Lily," she said, pointing at the screen. Lily leaned in, squinting. Her smile dropped. Panic set in, fast and hard. Her face went pale. "Oh my God, Ethan." I typed again, "Since you're already sharing with the world, let me help. The wedding's off. Engagement's done. Someone else can pay for the dream house. Have a great night." She fumbled with her phone, hands shaking. "Tessa, end it. Turn it off." The last thing I saw before the feed cut was her face, pure horror. Her friends looked just as shocked. Then my phone exploded, texts and calls from Lily, her mom, even Tessa. I ignored them. Blocked Tessa. Turned my phone off. Poured a strong drink and sat there in silence. The ring, we designed it together, was sitting on the coffee table. Suddenly it felt heavy just looking at it. 20 minutes later, the doorbell rang. It was Lily, makeup running, looking like a total wreck. Her mom, Hele, was right behind her, furious. Lily's voice cracked, "Ethan, please. It was just a joke. Stupid girl talk. It didn't mean anything." Hele stepped in, "Young man, you humiliated my daughter. Over a prank? You can't end a wedding in a chat comment." I looked straight at Lily. "Was it a joke when you said I was clueless? Manageable? That my only value was my paycheck? She stammered. No, yes, I said it, but it was the wine. And Tessa egged me on. You know I love you. Me? Calm as ever. I don't think you do, Lily. And I don't love the person I saw on that video. Hele was livid. This is ridiculous. We've paid deposits, sent out invitations. You need to fix this, Ethan. With all due respect, I said, your daughter publicly mocked me and admitted she planned to use me. The only thing that needs fixing is separating our lives. The wedding is off. Period. Lily broke down, sobbing. My dress, the venue, my friends. You've ruined everything. No, Lily, I said. You did that when you decided to broadcast how you really feel. To everyone. I asked them to leave. Hele shouted about money and her family's reputation. Lily just cried. Eventually, they left. My phone still going nuts, texts from her friends. Some pissed, some just confused. But me? I don't feel much of anything. Just, empty. And oddly clear-headed. Tomorrow, I've got to call my lawyer. The venue. Everyone. It's going to be a mess. But a mess now is better than a life of regret. Update 1. Man. What a couple of weeks. Thanks to those of you who messaged, most of you get it. A few think I overreacted. Fair. But you weren't the one watching that live stream. Anyway, here's what's happened since. Lily didn't accept final as final. The day after the whole thing, she and her mom showed up at my actual workplace. In the lobby. Lily was crying. Hele demanded to talk to my boss, wanted him to talk some sense into me. Security had to escort them out. My boss is a good guy. I gave him the short version. He just said, handle your personal life, Ethan, but not in my lobby. Embarrassing doesn't even begin to cover it. Then came the legal nonsense. Lily got herself a lawyer, some guy named Samuel. Now she's claiming I owe her for emotional distress and public humiliation. And now, they're asking me to cover all the non-refundable wedding expenses. The nerve. Lily's lawyer, Mr. Patel, sent a letter demanding I cough up $15,000 for the deposits her parents mostly paid, plus some of mine, and another $7,000 for emotional suffering. Luckily, my lawyer, Monica, who I swear has shark DNA, took one look and practically laughed out loud. She fired off a very polite response saying that Lily had publicly and voluntarily violated the implied terms of our engagement. Monica's exact words? That Lily publicly defamed and expressed contempt for my client, thereby demonstrating a lack of intent to enter the marriage in good faith. We also pointed out that Lily herself decided to air her true feelings in front of a live audience. The entitlement here is mind-blowing. Lily genuinely seems to think she did nothing wrong. Tessa, her ride or die, is all over social media posting vague garbage about toxic men and how some people can't handle strong women. Okay, Tessa. Sure. But get this, Lily's dad, Alan, actually called me. He's always been a pretty mellow guy, the reasonable type. But he sounded exhausted. Ethan, he said, I know Lily really screwed up. But this is a nightmare. Her mom is distraught. Is there any way we can work something out? Reduce the public fallout? I told him gently but firmly, Alan, this wasn't just a mistake. She laid out her whole strategy. I can't compromise on that. I'm done. He sighed, said he understood. But apparently Lily didn't take that message to heart. She started blowing up my phone with calls from burner numbers. I must have blocked a dozen of them. The voicemails started out weepy, then angry, then downright desperate. A lot of, how could you do this to me? And then came the petty revenge. She changed the password on our shared Netflix account. Yeah, childish, but it didn't stop there. I got a notice that someone had racked up hundreds of dollars in skincare on a department store credit card. I'm the primary holder. She was just an authorized user. She'd never bought more than a latte with it before. Totally forgot about that card in my initial lockdown sweep. So I called it in. Technically unauthorized use now. Reported the card stolen and disputed the charges. They're looking into it. Over $1,000 in luxury face creams and serums. Really? Your life's crumbling and you go on a revenge beauty haul, on my dime? Monica's documenting all of it, the unauthorized spending, the voicemails, the attempted ambush at my job. She says it paints a strong picture of someone acting in bad faith. That's going to help if they try to drag this into court over the deposits. A couple mutual friends have checked in. Some are on my side. Others are trying the "she's just young and made a dumb mistake" defense. Young? Maybe. Dumb? Sure. But not in the way they mean. What I saw was calculated. The venue's the biggest hassle right now. They're holding the deposit, $9,000 total. I paid half, Lily's parents paid the rest. Now their lawyer says I should forfeit my half and reimburse them for theirs, since I was the one who canceled unilaterally. Monica's response? Lily's actions were a fundamental breach. She made it impossible to go through with the wedding under any reasonable expectation of trust. So it's at a stalemate. It's exhausting, not gonna lie. Sometimes I catch myself mourning the relationship I thought I had. But then I remember that live stream. Her face, laughing, calling me clueless. And that calm just settles over me again. Damage control. That's all this is now. Update, 3 months later. Buckle up, because, of course, things escalated. Mr. Patel must have realized the emotional distress angle was a dead end. Especially after Monica sent him a nice little compilation of Lily's more, passionate voicemails and a log of all those burner numbers. Not to mention the incident report from security at my job. So they pivoted. Straight up financial warfare. With a big old side of entitlement. First, they tried to sue me for the full venue cost. Said I broke the contract. Monica was on it. We countersued for my half of the deposit, pointing to Lily's live stream as the reason we had to cancel. And yes, we had receipts. Literally. We had the saved footage, the chat logs, everything. When Mr. Patel saw proof that Lily openly admitted her financial motivations before I even commented, let's just say his tone changed real quick. Suddenly, he was very open to negotiating. In the end, we both lost our deposits. Sucks, sure, but better than paying the whole amount or getting dragged into court for months. Apparently, Lily's parents were furious they couldn't recover their money from me. But instead of letting it die down, Lily and Hele decided to double down on the "ruined reputation" card. And then it got nasty. Someone, and let's be real, I'm about 85% sure it was Tessa, probably with Lily egging her on, started spreading rumors. Ugly ones. They messaged women I know, co-workers, friends of friends, spinning these made-up stories. Claimed I was controlling. Emotionally abusive. Even hinted at financial misconduct at my job. It was disgusting. Just completely made-up stuff, meant to destroy me personally and professionally. Then my boss called me in again. This time, he looked concerned. Said he got an anonymous email. Guess what it included? Yep, those same lies. I was angry, but I stayed calm. Sat down and walked him through everything, the live stream, the breakup, the fallout, the harassment. I said, this is retaliation. It's baseless. Thankfully, he knows me. He's seen my work ethic for years. Still, HR has to do a quiet, formal review. Just because the accusations involved financial stuff, and in my field, that's serious. It was a rough week, no doubt, but thankfully, the workplace allegations were tossed out as completely unsubstantiated. Still, the damage to my peace of mind? That was massive. That was it for me. The final straw. Mocking me to her friends was one thing. Trying to milk me for cash was another. But going after my job and my reputation with straight-up lies? That was war. All bets were off. Monica, my lawyer, who honestly deserves a cape at this point, was already drafting a cease and desist for harassment. But after the stuff at work, we took it up a notch. We filed for a restraining order. We listed everything: her showing up at my office, the burner phone calls, credit card antics, workplace defamation. Monica even included affidavits from co-workers who got those shady messages, plus the anonymous email to my boss. The court hearing? Something out of a movie. Lily showed up looking like a heartbroken little lamb, all puffy eyes and trembling hands. Hele was right beside her, glaring like I'd personally ruined her life. And Tessa, yep, she was there too, smirking in the back until the judge shut her down and told her to keep quiet or leave. Mr. Patel, still clinging to the narrative, tried to paint Lily as the devastated fiancée who'd been wronged. Monica calmly pulled up some clips from the live stream. The one where Lily called me clueless. Where she said I was manageable. Where she bragged my salary would pay for her dream house. Then Monica laid out the rest: the burner calls, the fraud attempts, the flood of workplace drama. And then came the kicker. When Monica mentioned the anonymous messages sent to my co-workers, Lily muttered, audibly enough for us to hear, "Tessa, you weren't supposed to." Yeah. Not exactly the courtroom whisper you want to be caught in. Samuel looked like he wanted to crawl under the bench. The judge wasn't having any of it. He gave Lily a firm talk about accountability and how serious it is to make false accusations. Then came the decision: restraining order granted. She has to stay 200 yards away from me, my home, and my workplace. No calls. No texts. No messages on social media. And, this part was sweet, no using friends as middlemen either. Tessa's face when the judge read that? She looked like she swallowed a bug. Lily's? Total disbelief. Like she couldn't wrap her head around the idea that her actions had real-world consequences. Hele started rambling about appeals, of course. But this wasn't about revenge. Not for me. It was about setting things straight, clean and legal. That video? The live stream? It's backed up in more places than my tax returns. It's a silver bullet against any pity party narrative Lily might try to sell later. Financially? I cut everything off. Cancelled cards, closed shared accounts, removed her from anything with my name on it. Flipped bills over to my name or dropped them if they were mostly hers. She wanted independence. Done. Legally? I'm covered. That restraining order is airtight. If she so much as sends me a thumbs up emoji, she's in violation. Monica also sent Mr. Patel a final warning, a very firm one. If Lily, or anyone she's clearly directing, Reed, Tessa, keep spreading lies, we're coming for them with a defamation suit. We named Tessa in that letter, too. Word is she's now scared stiff about getting sued. As for the social fallout, any friend who sided with her or tried to guilt me? Gone. Cut off, politely but clearly. I don't need people like that in my life. The ones who had my back. They're solid gold. And what about Lily now? I hear she's a wreck. Her parents are furious, over the legal mess, the restraining order, the lost money. That dream wedding fund? Poof. Gone. Spent on lawyers and cancelled contracts. She moved back in with her parents. Turns out her part-time gig can't cover the life she'd gotten used to, especially now that my so-called clueless paycheck is out of the picture. And no, I didn't give her any grand speech about learning her lesson. She's got reality handling that for me now. Cold, unfiltered, legal system enforced reality. She wanted to play games. She found out I knew the rules better. Look, I'm not celebrating this. I'm not happy it had to go this far. There's still a sour taste from all of it. But there's also relief. The calls stopped. The threats, the rumors, the mess, it's all quiet now. I'm focusing on my job. On the people who stood by me. On rebuilding. It'll take time before I trust someone like that again, but that's a problem for future Ethan. Right now? Present Ethan's just glad the circus finally packed up and left. Even if I had to drag them off the lot with a court order. She thought I was the clueless one. Turns out she had no idea who she was messing with.